there's no, okay, I don't know. Okay, so let's go with this right here. So we have this spear piece here, and it has a score line right there. And so we're going to score it. Okay. All right, and then we have another score line right there. So actually, this is going to be our front, and this is going to be our bottom. All right. So here's what we're going to do here. Put all this aside. We put this on first, and this is the little box that's going on the inside. So we're going to take this first section here. Glue it down. Oh, good. Okay. I don't know what I did. I just went and pressed a default button, and my techie will have to see what's going on, because I am definitely not the techie, and I always feel like I'll mess things up, which I usually do, because it's just not my forte, unless I have a step-by-step. So usually, like this here, I do little post-it notes step by step, because she'll show me what and tell me what to do, so I do it step by step, so I know how to do it the next time. So I don't have one for why we don't have the sound today, or why there was such an issue, but I'll let her figure it out when she gets off of work. Tell her I have a 911 problem. So I gotta get it straight for tomorrow and Saturday. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna get that off just a little bit there. There we go. All right, so I'm just putting that there. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of the box done right here. So we're just gonna fold on scored lines. And we're gonna make some cuts and adjustments to get this inside going here. So this is how the bottom base is gonna look. So it's actually gonna fold in like this, and the bottom is gonna fold in as well. So really and truly, we don't have to have some of this, right? Because it's gonna have support on the bottom right here, because this is gonna fold in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut on these tabs right here. Now, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I went over there and just pushed some buttons, you know, sort of like a Hail Mary, right? On a football game. Just hoping that something I touched worked. Okay, so I really don't need this. And I really don't need this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. I wanted to show you so you can at least see. Because it's going to wrap around like this, right? I'll need this at the bottom. But really and truly, that's all the support I need. I could still keep this one if I wanted to, but the other one's just really not necessary, right? I could easily do without it. I'll keep one on this side and do without the other and let you see the difference, okay? And you can decide when you make something like this what you want to do. But I know for sure I don't need that. That's just in the way. And this is just going to fold under. This one I'm just going to go ahead and cut off. So I don't think we need that. This is a treat holder, and we got a nice little bottom right here, okay? Well, it doesn't show it as muted. That was the thing, because mute usually has like a little line drawn through. So I am really not sure. I mean, we don't, so I don't usually use YouTube, right? So we're trying to, so it's something you were trying to do, and it operates differently than it does even for setup when I do my Facebook. Because like you guys were chatting, and so 24 hours later, your chat and that you chatted and were on will show up. And so otherwise, you can make a comment, and that'll show up. But it's just different. It's not like Facebook. If you do an emoji or a thumbs up or anything like that, that shows up on Facebook right away. Well, for the reason why I tell you guys you have to at least leave your name and, you know, make a comment, because they don't show you who did the thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. So you can leave a thumbs up, and bottom line is I won't know it because it won't show me a name for a door prize drawing. So yes, so if you missed it earlier, I have 2 bundles that are going to be done in the door prize, and then we also have a shimmer brush, some ink, and some ribbon, and some beautiful butterflies. So you see when I go to tuck this in right here, it's really not going to make a big difference. See here, it's not really, the support I'm going to get is more from the two bottoms that I put together. So I tell you that when you do this, leave it, it's up to you, right? I've got good support down here, and that's what I want. Depending on what I'm going to put in here, right? Because I'm going to put something in there. Yeah, I don't know what I did. But I assure you my techie will tell me. Because I try not to touch any buttons. When she sets something up for me, it's like I don't touch any buttons other than that. So I'm not even sure. Not even sure. Every day's a mystery. You learn something new. So I'm just going to let that glue there just a second. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put this on front. So that's all it is. I just flip this over. So when you cut this paper, right, you know, you've got all kind of different looks of Pooh Bear here. And I'm going to show you again so you can see the difference between the inside of this one and inside of this one here. So that's just the way the paper's cut, right? And I just happened to sit there and capture it at two different looks, right? Just so based on how, when I cut it. So you get a totally different look just depending on how you cut the paper. All right, so this is going to come over right here. We can go ahead and finish this up now. So I just, we use the same stamp set. I'm going to be using dimensionals here, and I've got Wink of Stella too. So what we're going to do here is we're going to split up the words. And I'm going to make sure I clean that off again, because between me trying to figure out the technology, and that's sure. Okay, so I'm just going to roll it, right? So what I do when I roll it, if you haven't seen me do it before, I just take where I want to start, or I could use masking tape, right? Or a Post-it note, but all I do is just roll it based on the words I'm going to use. And I just center this right here with the top. Okay, and then I'm going to clean this off. And then I'm just going to do a little treat on the other part. And then I'll have it, right? So again, I'm just going to roll this side. Just those three words. And I just put them off just a little bit to the right. Knowing I was going to put some butterflies here, as well as I got those little honey pots there. Okay, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get these on with some dimensionals. And I should say this, you know what, I just did the center, so as I'm taking these off, like, put a bunch on there, I didn't. So if you didn't notice, look right here. So there's different height here. And what I did is I took the two center ones there, and I just took my scissors and I just went around the jars, right? Just to make it, I kept just a little bit of that little trim of the outline of the jar there. That's what I did. And then I just made sure that when I did it like that there. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. And this one I just kept the little brown outline. And it didn't really matter to me on the bottom, right? Because the bottom line is what I'm looking for is so it looks like it's a continuous picture. And it is, right? Except I'm just splitting up the level. So I'm going to put this here. Right here. And then I'm going to take the rest. And then I'm just going to glue them down. And then we'll put Wink of Stella on it. Right? So it looks like, from a distance, it looks like it's continuous. And it is. It's just, I elevated the center to give it some height. So see, see how it looks like it's just continuous from there? So that's all I'm looking for, is the connected look to make it look continuous. They're right there, stuck here. Okay, yeah, I got rid of the Band-Aid, so I didn't have to worry about dipping my thumb in ink accidentally. So now I have a finger that can glue on it. Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to put this right here. And again, I'm just making this where the line comes out just a little bit, right? So it looks like it's continuous. Now, it looks a little wonky there, so I'll just straighten it out. So the glue will let me do that, right? There we go. You got just a look of continuous pots there. Alright, and if you need to tweak it a little bit, just tweak it a little bit, okay? The glue will let you do that. All right? Okay, so now we just have to put Pooh Bear on here. And I actually have Pooh Bear right here on the edge. So these, I'll make sure it's going to fit right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on. You know, so my tech came in the other day. I always tell her that God loves me and that she loves me. And she goes, I always tell my employees that my mom loves me. So, it's sort of funny how we deal with things differently. Okay, now I am really going to put that, let me do this first. It'd be easier for you. I do this all the time, so it's just natural for me to do it. I always end up putting my twine on after the fact, just because what I do, right? And it's just how I do it. But it's really, truly most probably easier. And I did wrap that around twice. It is most probably easier to sit there and go ahead and do this first. I just have a habit of I've done it for so long that way that I've done it afterwards, and I just string it through the middle. But if you do that, just keep in mind what I've done, right? I kept the middle open, so I can do that. And so that's something else I do on a regular basis. So I'm just wrapping this around twice, and I'm just leaving myself room, right? I've done this, I think, every day when I use the twine. I make sure I just leave myself extra so I can tie my bow. And I'm going to tie it to the right here. And I'm going to get it as far to the right as I can because I know that tag is going on top. I just can't make the bow most of the time when I've got this right here. But you know, like we said yesterday, right? Nice thing about twine or any of the other stuff is if you sit up there and, let's see, that's way too big. You sit up there and it's a little loose, and we're just going to pull it out a little bit, right? And we can still use the dimensionals to help us if we need to. So that's all I'm going to do. If I want it tighter, I'm just going to pull it like this on the edge, each side. And same thing on this side over here. I'm just going to pull it so that it gets a little bit tighter. Okay, so when I do that right now, I do that and I put this on top. So some of this will try to catch it, right? And so some of it's going to help anchor it. Just like that. So you can move this one here as much as you want, but I'm believing some of that's going to catch it right here, and then we're just going to put Pooh right here. And then we have it done. So it really doesn't take, right, when you have everything already prepped and ready to go, it really doesn't take long at all to do any of this. We're going to add our Wink Stella, and I added just to all the little jars when I created this, because I could. And I did on the labels as well. I know, just a little sparkle, right? Okay. So yeah, you know, we talked about the sound. I didn't change anything from yesterday, literally. I just got it from the computer yesterday, got ready for today, and that was it. So anyway, and if you want to, you can also put, if you want this to shut, I don't think I did on this one, but you know what, if you wanted, if you were concerned, whatever you put in there, if you wanted to, you could always put some Velcro right there if you wanted to keep it closed for whatever reason. But what I didn't, and what I'm putting in here isn't going to need it either. So it just depends on what you're putting in there and what you want to happen, right? So here's what we created today. Is our cute little card that Francine designed, right? And we did the treat holder here. And as you see, again, as I open up the flaps here, two different things, same paper. It just happens that the way you cut it off the paper itself. And then for tomorrow we're going to make this cute little treat holder here. And then we're going to make this cute card here that Francine designed as well too. So it'll be quick and easy tomorrow too. But you know what? We need quick and easy just as much as we do the stuff that's over the top. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let's see if I can actually get back. Yes, I can. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll have to go back and see. And I'll have to go back to the recording I did as it's recording along, because I really can't tell anything from what I see. So it looks all normal to me. So there you go. So thank you for supporting me, not only on here, but also on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you for coming along for the craft along. We have tomorrow and Saturday. And then we'll do the door prizes on Saturday, and we'll be able to post them out there. All right. Have an amazing day. It's 92 degrees here, but it looks gorgeous outside. and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.